Okay, let's try to keep this rated PG. It's been a slow day, but I'm up. I think I'll be able to make it to the pool. I've got to remember to take my medication because without it, I'm scattered and I sleep a lot. I keep thinking, well, because I'm old and I'm fat and I've always had health problems, and I'm not from a cultural background that really thinks that taking pills is the answer. You're supposed to, I don't know, be healthy. I don't know, or you're not. But so I think that's why I'm not religious about the pill taking. See how the scalp looks today. It looks pretty good. Just awfully gray. What's that? It's looks like from a plant or something. Alexa, will it rain today?
No rain is expected tonight.
Looks a little
Also,
overcast.
there's an air quality alert in effect until Tuesday, July 9th, 12 a.m.
Alrighty then. Okay, so I'm 1 minute in and I'm wasting time. So, anyways, I've had a couple days where I think it was because yeah, I think maybe I've come to the conclusion that a lot of times I think, well, you're feeling better, you don't need that medication. Healthy people don't need to take medication, and then I'm sick again or tired or in the doldrums. So I'm going to Alexa, what are my reminders?
Bill, here are your upcoming reminders. Take my bupropion, today at 4:56 p.m. Take my bupropion, today at 5:57 p.m. God is a comedian playing to an audience too afraid to laugh, 2 times a day, next due today at 8:43 p.m. And, fart smell okay, every day at 9 p.m. Do you want to hear more?
Yes. Oh,
For
yeah.
you, Volt said God is a comedian playing to an audience too afraid to laugh, every day at 1 p.m.
That's it? Oh, well. All right. Well, this is my life. So I think I'm going to have to remember to take that. Well, it helps me focus, and I'm all over the place. It's like I'm in Joe Biden wander off the stage mode. What's my name? What am I doing here? Hi, I'm running for president. I guess I've become a little obsessed about that. It's like, who are you going to vote for? You going to vote for the nice senile old man, or the confident liar, or the ex junkie with a worm in his brain who thinks that vaccines cause autism? That's a hell of a choice there. I don't see any of them that are a good choice. But anywho, okay. So we were talking about why I have such I stay awake all night, and I'm a day sleeping person because I was for literally 45 years, like for a long time. And I was thinking about my friend Joey, the poet, who used to stay up all night, and whose ex-husband was a pharmaceutical distributor. He was a drug dealer, and not even an ex. Well, he was an ex-drug dealer when it was either a murder suicide or the mafia came in and whacked him for his turf, or because he was bad mouthing crack. He was telling everybody, "Don't do crack, don't do crack. I know I sell drugs, but this new stuff, crack, you shouldn't do it." And then all, coincidentally enough, as soon as he was dead, maybe that's a coincidence, or maybe, yeah, crack was terrible. Just maybe who knows what happened, but it's none of my business. And that was the end of the cocaine. But we'd be up all night listening to Joni Mitchell, and I'd draw these weird little pictures, and she'd write her poetry, and that was fun. And we'd talk about life, and we wouldn't get a lot of sleep. And then my therapist, who I was telling all these stories to about why it was so important to me to. I'm not a religious person, but I have to admit one thing. That's why I do the Buddhist thing. I've got Buddhism on Audible. I think. Let me see here. Can you hear me? I'm still here. All right. Good afternoon. You have 0 credits. Go to my library. Dr. Shivago. Oh, wait a minute. Well, that's 1 credit. Or $20. Somewhere, my love. We'll have to wait. What did I buy? I bought War and Peace, I bought Blade Runner, and I bought Crime and Punishment. And also, there's this.
Maybe the simplest way to describe the difference between this and my ordinary experience with tooth pain is that there was less youch than usual and more whoa than usual. I wouldn't have been able to do this if not on retreat. 30 minutes of my workaday.
Alexa, play Audible.
Getting your selection from Audible, resuming why Buddhism is true.
If not on retreat. 30 minutes of my workaday meditation doesn't put me in a position to view acute tooth pain so objectively as to take much of the suffering
Alexa,
out of it.
stop.
And of authority in his voice. What do the Smolensk people have offered the Emperor and levy of militia? Are the Smolensk people any rule for us? If the nobility of the Moscow province thinks fit, it can show its devotion to our sovereign.
Alexa, play Audible.
Getting your selection from Audible, resuming War and Peace.
If the nobility of the Moscow province thinks fit, it can show its devotion to our sovereign, the Emperor, by other means.
So this is my life, okay? This is my life. Alexa, stop. This is my life. I like Audible, though. I shouldn't complain. I didn't buy anything for a while, and I got 2 credits. Because War and Peace has been going on, like, forever. And maybe that's a good thing. I was thinking, God, people read this. This is a book that people read. But it's just so long, and it just goes on forever. But I've never read anything classic. I just account if you listen to a book. I don't internalize as much. But then again, I'm kind of dyslexic. I don't really internalize a lot when I read either. It just goes in one eyeball and out the other. Okay, so I'm doing the Buddhism thing to calm myself down. I quit drinking. I'm trying to... This is what happens when you get old and you get close to death and you think, like God is like Schrodinger's cat or Pascal's wager. If there is a God and he told me to give up all my... Because when you think about it, I mean, and you learn this early in life, most of the things that people enjoy doing, like drinking and fornicating and dangerous stuff. Look at the stuff people do in Hollywood. Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein. Hedonism is selfish. Look at all the people that those men hurt. Or Clinton, or Trump, and they're still out and about. They're not in prison. Roy Moore. Does anybody remember Roy Moore? Remember him? The Bible thumping Supreme Court justice who liked to molest teenage girls at malls? Yeah, we all forget about him. So it's not just Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein, the Jews. They're the only ones that seem to have gone to jail, though. Isn't that funny? Clinton's still out. Bill Gates is still out. Trump is still out. Prince Andrew. You can't get more waspy than Prince Andrew. His mommy sent him to the castle. It's like, oh, that's right, young man. None of that scallywagging with that Jeffrey Epstein anymore. That was naughty of you to go to Rapey Island. We're taking away all your medals and all your servants, and you have to stay in the castle all by yourself. I mean, what fucking bad thing happened to Prince Andrew? That perv. Although they did arrest Giselle. They arrested the woman, but they didn't arrest all the waspy guys. Think about it. Waspy guy, Prince Andrew, he's like embarrassed. Bill Gates, we don't know what he did, but his wife divorced him, so that's something. Bill Clinton, everybody feels sorry for him because he has a heart condition, but he was a dog. And Donald Trump, God help us, he raped a 13-year-old girl, and there's evidence that he did, but he quieted that down, had sex with a hooker. Yeah, he does have the morals of an alley cat, but that doesn't. And who are they got to run it? Who do the Democrats get to run against him? Everybody's senile old grandpa who's drooling and shitting in his pants. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Democratic Party. That was nice. So, anyways, I was talking to my therapist, and she got stung by a bee, and all of a sudden I flashed, not on Joey, but because we're talking about how I'm trying to clean up my life slowly. I mean, no illegal drugs for 20 years, trying to quit drinking, trying to get all sorts of trying to clean my brain out. And I don't want to be a judgmental evangelical, because look at the war in the Middle East. It's like this. I'm trying to find a nice religion that's not really a religion. And I don't think the Buddhists even believe in a God as in the Abrahamic sense. This is some cosmic force, like the Force. That whole New Age religion stuff that was it Spielberg or Lucas? Not Spielberg, but I get them confused. Lucas, with the Star Wars. May the Force be with you. It's kind of like Buddhism. There's like because Buddhists are always saying, may the universe bless you. It's like we're all part of this cosmic one thing, but we've got our own individual karma. But it's like I'm trying, I need something. Atheism is very clinical, and science isn't going to help you be a better person. It might help you with critical reasoning, but you need a little more than critical reasoning. And call me stupid, and I'm not as logical as the atheists who are all very depressed and on drugs. But I think humanity needs a God, even if there isn't one. And if there is one, we should be just nice to him because he's big and powerful. Alexa, play Jesus is Just All Right. I keep thinking of this song.
Jesus is Just All Right with Me, 2006 remaster single version by the Doobie Brothers on Amazon Music.
This song makes me think about how I feel about Jesus. Not about Christianity, because I'm really down. Christianity sucks. But you read about Jesus, and for the most part, I mean, he said that stuff about coming with the sword. Maybe he was in a bad mood that day. I don't know. But I mean, he did say, "Let he among you who has not sinned, let him cast the first stone." So he was forgiving and merciful. Alexa, stop. Well, that's Jesus is Just All Right. I'm trying, maybe successfully, I don't know. I would like to think that sometime in the future I would be successful. I'm trying to be a better person. So anyways, we're going to remember this. When I was like 2 or 3, I got stung by a bee, like my therapist just did. And I thought I was going to die. And we decided that maybe this is my Woody Allen moment when I discovered that genetically I'm predisposed to being a whiny little nebbishy bitch. Oh my God, I got stung by a bee. Oh, I'm going to die. I can't believe it. I'm so verklept. I could just plots. What's a Protestant talking like that for? See, this is why I believe in reincarnation. But I'm extreme. I had a therapist tell me one time, Bill, your problem was you were born a Protestant in Cleveland. You should have been born a Jew in Brooklyn. You just have that personality. You whine and complain and you're neurotic. And I says, isn't that kind of anti-Semitic? And he says, you... But you don't act like a wasp, Bill. You act like a neurotic Jew. This is what he was saying. Please don't judge me. This is what my waspy Freudian therapist told me. Maybe not in those terms, but he said I should have been born. This is what he said. If I had been born in New York as a Jew, I'd probably see a therapist, but my life would be better and I'd be happier because I would be in a culture that was more accepting of neurotic hypochondriacs. And being from a puritanical Protestant background, instead of getting sympathy, all I'm getting is I'm weak and I'm self-indulgent and I'm a malingerer. A malingerer. And so it's the culture that I'm from is not conducive to me being a whiny little bitch. I'm not saying that that's how Jewish people are, but this is a stereotype that people believe in and think that I fit, even though I was raised in the Church of the Bethany Covenant by Protestants. But I did get stung by that bee when I was so little, and it's amazing that I do remember it, but I just remember the pain, and I remember thinking, ooh, this I'll make friends with the bee, and then I decided for some reason I was going to eat it. So I must have been really young, right? I mean, I think maybe a 5 or a 6-year-old would know not to eat a bee. maybe even a 3-year-old, but I was that young that I decided I was going to pet the bee and then I was going to eat it. Or maybe I just imagined that later. Who knows? But I did get stung by the bee and it hurt like an MS. It just hurt so bad. You put ice on it, you get tweezers, or you pull the stinger out and you put isopropyl alcohol on it. But I think that might, not David Sadly, that might be my first memory. That might be my first memory. I'm remembering a memory back further, which is worth mentioning, because that might be my very first memory, is getting stung by that horrible, horrible pain from that bee. I'll put that in my book. Maybe I should start that out. That was my life as a hypochondriac, and my life as an overweight Woody Allen. I'll think of a title, but that's when it all started. Oh my God! I got stung by a bee. I'm 2.5 years old, and I'm gonna die. Why did the bee let me eat it? It's a damn good thing I didn't get it in my mouth, right? All right. That's how my life started, getting stung by a bee.